Welcome to library today. We're going to be reading Snapsy the Alligator. And he says, did not ask to be in this book. Snapsy the Alligator wasn't feeling like himself. His feet felt draggy. His skin felt baggy. His tail wouldn't swish this way and that. And worst of all, his big jaw wouldn't snap. This is terrible. I'm just hungry. Why is this rude narrator trying to make it seem like I need a nap? So the narrator is the person who's telling the story. He's, in this case, the writer. So Snapsy went off in search of food. He walked along the edge of a pond. He scooted up the tall hill. He shimmied through the forest. Ugh, you're an awful narrator. You're just describing what you see in the illustrations. So now he's saying that the narrator's not doing a good job. Snapsy the big, mean alligator kept looking for food. He liked to eat tiny, defenseless birds and soft, fuzzy bunnies. He prowled through the forest looking for victims. When he came to... It doesn't really look like he likes to eat those things. Let's see. And he says, it's just a store, a grocery store. It's where I buy my food. Snapsy looked hungrily at the other shoppers. Look, they were afraid. While loading his cart with pudding, peanut butter, pita bread, and popcorn. Yes, Snapsy the alligator was particularly fond of a certain letter of the alphabet. And then he says, I don't only eat food that starts with a letter P. You don't have to make it sound like I only buy storybook food. I'm also buying cheddar, apples, pretzels, pasta, pears. Aha! It's just a coincidence. Snapsy, the big, mean, hungry alligator, who only liked food that started with the letter P, carried his groceries back through the forest, back down the hill, back around the pond, until he got to a surprisingly lopsided shack. I'll say. He says, oh, you are really cheesing me off. It's my house. I built it myself. No narrators allowed. Snapsy the alligator took his groceries into his splinter-laden shed and slammed the door quite hard. He was inside. Still inside. What was he doing in there? Was he making crafty plans? Was he roasting innocent forest creatures that he had already stored in his freezer? Had he fallen asleep? And he says, I made a peanut butter sandwich and now I'm reading a book. And the narrator says, well, you have to come out. The story is really boring now. Snapsy the alligator, trying to better his reputation with the other animals, decided to throw a party. He says, if you must know, I'm planning a party. Vroom! Snapsy vacuumed the rug. He made goodie bags for all his guests. Wait, those aren't goodie bags. He's just taking out the garbage. Snapsy should really put out goodie bags for his guests. They love those. You know what? I did not ask to be in this book. I was just having a normal day. And suddenly you were talking about what I was doing, so I'm throwing a party to make things more interesting. I hope you're happy. Now I just want you to buzz off. That's what Snapsy says. And then he says, "Thank you." "Oh, go ahead. I can hear you breathing." Snapsy's party was shaping up to be quite a festive event. Colorful streamers hung from the ceiling. There were cubes of cheese and a bowl of punch. Some kind of danceable music was playing. Then Snapsy's friends started to arrive. They were laughing and dancing. They weren't hungry or thirsty. They looked like they were having a really good time. Yes, a fine time indeed. And then Snapsy opens the door and says, "Oh, all right, you can come in." And Miss Chicken says, "Oh, gosh, me? The humble narrator? Well, I don't know. Let me check my calendar. I suppose I could come for an hour or two. Someone has to demonstrate proper dance steps." So the narrator is this chicken. All the important guests had finally arrived. Now the chicken's talking. While Snapsy's sharp teeth were still glinting menacingly. He was actually a lovely host. Snapsy says, "Does anyone want pudding? Because pudding's really good." Aha! And we all ate pudding and did the chicken dance. We were really looking forward to Snapsy throwing parties like this every week. Hey! He didn't think he was going to be throwing parties every week. And here's Snapsy. All right, I hope you enjoyed your library time today. If you would like to, you can go ahead and go and read another book on Epic. They have some really cool books on there. So to finish up your library, go ahead and go on Epic and read one book or have it read to you one book, and then you'll be done with library for today. All right, have a good rest of your library. Bye.